and then hold on defensively for a late drive. Obviously it's a great win for that program to get off the schneid there, and that now they try to build some momentum and try to do some good things this season.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our game that we did last Friday night, and that was the Indians of South and the Raiders of East. A very entertaining game. Both teams came in 0-2 with staring at an 0-3 start. South dominated the first half, going out to a 17-7 lead, rushing for close to 200 yards in the first half. And then it was all Toms River East as they roared back, scoring, at will. 4 times they had the ball. They scored all 4 times. They won it 35-24 in just a very entertaining game. Both teams ran for close to 300 yards. Neither defense showed up, which makes the defensive coordinators not too happy. However, just an entertaining game, and give credit to Frankie Giannetti, and Kyle Sandberg, the head coach at East, for rallying his troops at halftime when very easily they could have lost that. And they had lost 6 straight to the Indians, so they broke a 6-game losing streak. They hold a 21-18 lead in that series in 39 games.
Some of those games you coached
yes, I did.
Back in the day. By the way, what that game also proved, you don't have to have great football teams to have a really good game. Those 2 teams were very even. I think if they played 10 times, it'd be somewhere around 5-5. But they gave us a really good game, so that was pretty cool. Also last week, on Saturday, I believe, Point Pleasant Borough went to Monmouth Regional, collected a 16-6 win. Their second straight, they improved to 2-1, and we welcome in a guy who was here last year sitting in that corner, I think, as a quiet assistant coach, and now he's the head coach of the Point Borough Panthers, and the youngest head coach on the shore, 28 years old, and that is Brian Staub. Brian, welcome.
Thank you, Ed, Kevin, Bob. Thanks for having us. Let's talk some football.
Let's talk some football. We'll get into it with your players a little bit later on, but I guess I got to start at the whole process of you having been the offensive coordinator at Point Borough, Matt Salento, who was our coach of the year last year, stepping down, and the transition of you coming into the head job. And I know Ed interviewed you a couple weeks ago during one of our games, and you kind of talked about the process. I'm interested, now that you've been in it for a few months, the greatest difference between being an assistant coach and a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, the transition was smooth just because I knew the players and I knew the coaching staff, and Matt Salento did a great job just getting me prepared. And not much has changed. I'm still running the offense. I get to work with the defense more, and newly defensive coordinator Shane O'Connor, which has been great. But that's probably the biggest difference, is just overseeing everything, having a bigger impact on defense and the special teams. But really, not much has changed.
How important is staff continuity? Because obviously, there's a change in head coach, but you move up from offensive coordinator, and correct me if I'm wrong, your only other real change is Coach Dave Drew coming up from the freshman level and joining the varsity, and everyone else is in the same spot. So that had to be big, just from terms of the kids can kind of come in and hit the ground running. And although there's a change on paper, it's about as minimal as it can get.
That's it. I mean, it was as smooth, as minimal as possible. We kept the same offense and defensive schemes. Shane O'Connor, who was Matt Salento's go-to guy for multiple years, steps in as defense coordinator, has done a great job. And we brought Dave Drew up from freshman to kind of work with Shane. We have Eddie Kendall, our defensive line coach, young, energetic coach as well. And we just kept the whole staff, kept the same schemes together, and it's been working out pretty well so far.
Brian, you play in the Liberty division this year. I mean, I still don't know what teams are in what division. They have 7 divisions now. You're in the Liberty, and when the schedule came out, they didn't do you many favors. New coach, young coach. Right away, they put Manasquan on your schedule the first game. Tell us a little bit about what you thought of that. What you think of the division, the new realignments, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the overall division, I thought they did a great job grouping us together week in and week out. It's a battle. It's a challenge. There's close games. It's competitive. And, when they put Manasquan first, we were excited for the challenge. We had it circled. They had it circled. It's a great rivalry. Last year in the state semis, only added to that. And, it was a good game. We battled them. Unfortunately, we came out, on the wrong side. But we talked to the staff. We said, we can't get too high, we can't get too low post-Swan. Obviously we wanted to win, but if we won, we couldn't get too cocky and too confident. If we lost, we couldn't get too down, and we bounced right back, which is what we expected.
Yeah, you bounced back with 2 big victories to get yourself at 2-1, put that first week behind you. Now you've got a team like Neptune, who is dangerous, So, some of the coaches around the shore said they're first and goal every time they touch the ball. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a great phrase, whoever came up with that. I mean, it makes sense to me. And, I mean, you use that key word, dangerous, and that's what they are. They have athletes all over the field, great team speed. Their O-line is big and physical, and, they're going to create problems for us. But we're just excited for the challenge. We feel like we have a good game plan moving forward, and, I think it's going to be a good one on Saturday afternoon.
Brian, certainly on paper, that's all we in the media and people outside the program see in terms of who graduated. And you guys graduated a tremendous senior class last season. James Farrar was an all-shore quarterback. You had Brandon Cipriano was an all-shore player. Just a great utility person on both sides of the ball. A couple of great linemen. And Gabe Fatizzi and Anthony Bonavito. The list really goes on. There was a lot of guys that graduated, but just so I remember seeing you guys in the preseason, there was still a lot coming back, and those are the kind of things we don't see. Just how about that? You guys coming into the season, having to replace a lot, but knowing you had guys that were ready to come in and kind of take those starting reins.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had to replace a great senior class, no doubt. But that first team meeting end of May, we set the tone. We said the standard's been set. The expectations are high. They're always going to be high with this coaching staff. Stays intact, and we knew we had a great senior class coming in. A lot of those guys like Bobby Cooper, Dylan Kleinfeld, Christian Oren, a lot of them as juniors would have started on other teams around the shore, but they waited their turn. They were anxious to prove themselves, and they were hungry. And we told them that everyone's going to count you out, but they were hungry. They wanted to prove themselves, and they've answered the challenge so far.
You ever pinch yourself and say, I'm 28 years old, I'm a head football coach at a school that has great tradition, tremendous tradition for many, many years in the Shore Conference, a town that supports its program. I mean,
beautiful facilities.
Beautiful facility. I mean, you're not in a bad place.
Not at all. It was just a lifelong dream. I worked hard my whole life. It's just a number to us. I'm actually 27. Not that matters.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, it's just a number. We have great football background.
Ed 27,
come on,
28.
Ed 27. It's all good. But, we are a young coaching staff. We get that. But we have great backgrounds. We believe in the systems. We believe in the schemes. We had great coaches and great mentors that we either played for or coached alongside. And, me and myself, I just tried to pick the brains of all these great coaches and read up on these books. And it's just our passion. And anything we may lack in overall experience, we certainly make up for in energy. I promise you that.
Oh, there's no question about that. Losing the opener to Manasquan, you come back and you beat Colts Neck as the clock is going down to the final seconds. And you realize, I'm about to get my first win. Was there a moment? Was it special to you?
It was special. I wanted it for the kids more than anything. The kids deserved it. The kids worked hard. I wanted it for the staff. They work hard day in and day out. But I kind of exhaled, I think, for the first time in a couple of weeks just because I wanted to get that win, get it out of the way, and, let's just keep working on getting better and better every single day, a little bit by little in every phase.
Let me just say we're talking with Brian Staub, the head football coach at Point Borough. Point Borough and Wall featured on tonight's show. Ed?
Brian, you run the flexbone offense, complicated offense where the quarterback is so important. You lost a great one, as you said, in James Farrar last year. Tell us a little bit about the decision to move your all-star linebacker to the quarterback spot.
Yeah, to us it was a no-brainer. He had played quarterback for us as a sophomore, and he was very good. He has a great understanding of it. He likes playing quarterback. He's confident in his reads, and he does a great job of getting the ball to the right guy at the right time, and that's what we ask our quarterbacks to do. But that was probably the number one question I got in the offseason was, who's replacing Farrar? I just kept smiling because we knew what we had. But no one even knew that Garrett Romer played quarterback. They just knew him as the third-team all-shore linebacker. So he's done a great job stepping in. He's confident that his teammates will block for him. He's confident that he can read it up.
With Romer, too, touching him real quick, to step in that role is hard. As Ed said, in the flexbone offense, everything's on the quarterback. When you give them the play, but you don't know who's getting the ball. That's up to them, as you very well know as a former player running that offense. He has come in, he ran for 190 yards, 195, I think, against Manasquan. Went over 200 in the Colts game, ran for over 100 again. I mean, talk about hitting the ground running. I know you guys knew what you had, but did you foresee even a start as good as he's had?
And we really did. We knew what we had. He was good as a sophomore. He got a ton of reps as a junior, and it was one of those rare cases where if Farrar did have to go down, we wouldn't have altered the game plan at all. And I'm confident that Garrett Romer would have had us going last year. He certainly is the leader of this team this year moving forward, and when your vocal leader, your leader of the team happens to play quarterback, that's just an added bonus, and that's exactly what Garrett Romer does for this team.
The area of your team that really impressed me the most when I saw you guys week one was your offensive line. I mean, blocking in the flex bone, especially replacing so many key guys, and those guys hit the ground running as well. I mean, from talking to you in the preseason, you expected Romer to be good, so I wasn't as surprised to see that. But how well those guys played up front, those 5 guys, was that a surprise early in the season just because there were so many new guys working in?
It was a lot of new guys, but, at Burrow we just have that saying, next guy up, next guy in, and we have to credit, offensive line coach Ryan Canary, who does an outstanding job day in and day out. We only had Scott Franceschini, returning, but again, seniors and juniors were anxious to prove themselves. They come together, they work hard day in and day out, and, we're trying to get to the phrase where, Point Burrow doesn't rebuild, we just reload. And we're not there yet. We're not saying we're there by any means, but, that's something that we are working towards as a staff and as a team.
We get an 80-degree day like today, and we think it's still early in the season. Amazingly, after this week, you're halfway done with your regular season schedule. 8 games scheduled, 4 of them down. So it's not early on any longer, and we know the importance in football of every week. There's a new playoff system in town. And normally I would say about this time of year, coaches would start glancing at least to get an idea where we might be, Do you understand the new system at all?
I'm trying to. I don't think anyone has it down pat, but, we're taking it one game at a time. It's a 1-0 every single week. Every single game from here on out is kind of a playoff caliber game. It's a must-win game to get us in the best possible position for playoffs. And as we get closer, we'll start looking more. But, our full focus and attention's on Neptune for Saturday afternoon.
Besides in that flex bone, besides your quarterback, so important, the other skilled people are equally as important. Talk about your A-back and your slot backs.
That's it. At A-back, which stands for ace-back, we have senior Bobby Cooper, who stepped in, had a great start versus Swan, had over 100 yards versus Monmouth as well. Just a tough runner. He's not flashy, he's not big, but sneaky fast, understands where his blocks are coming from. Him and Garrett have the mesh point down, which is, vital for the triple option. And our L's and R's, we have 3 seniors. Our L back is Kyle Komodinsky, who had 3 touchdowns versus Swan, and rotating at R is Christian Oren and Izzy Wilson, who's a transfer from Neptune. So I know Izzy's pretty fired up for Saturday.
Got to make him a captain, right?
Yeah, he'll be out there.
Figured that.
You got, as you said, you have Neptune coming up this Saturday, home game with Raritan at Ocean Barnegat. Donovan Catholic is your regular season finale. We hope to be broadcasting that game. That is scheduled to be our game of the week. So we're kind of looking forward to tonight, that game as well. But as you said, and every coach says, the only thing that cares right now is Neptune. You did that well. See, you've got the head coach speak down. See, last year in that corner, you might have been 3 or 4 weeks down the road.
Yeah, I've been taking notes since I was about 10 years old, so I like to think I know what I'm doing.
We want to have some time to talk to the 2 guys you have brought tonight, Garrett Romer and Scott Franceschini, who you did mention. So we're going to take a break. Snobber, we're going to thank you for coming in. I apologize, 27 years old. When do you turn 28?
In June.
All right, I'm going to mark that on the calendar. We'll get it right for next time.
Shoot me a text. Right.
Hang on one second. Brian Staub, the first-year head coach at Point Burrow. We come back. We'll talk with a couple of the Panther players. Right after this, you're listening to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner on 105.7 The Hawk.
You're a football fan, and sometimes you want to watch the games with your friends and other fans. The Office Restaurant and Lounge loves football and invites you to watch all the games in their 28 HD TVs and take advantage of their awesome $6 football menu. On Thursday and Sunday, buy a 22-ounce mug for $4 and get refills of Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $2. Enjoy football with your friends at Tom Zivers Place to meet and eat for 42 years. The Office Restaurant and Lounge at the intersection of Route 37 and Main Street.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS. Corolla 5189 and RAV4 4988 due at signing. $0 security deposit. Excludes tax. Tag title 439 doc fee. 10K miles per year. Ends 9/30/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
It's tailgate time right now at Gateway Toyota. Drive new 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive. Your choice. Only $139 a month. $139 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Tom'sRiverGatewayToyota.com.
The fun never stops at River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar and Brick. The beach bar is still open and still bringing you live entertainment Wednesday through Sunday. Plus, catch your favorite football games from the beach bar, too. And don't forget Miller Monday from 8 to 10:30 p.m. Take your chance in the money machine to win great prizes and gift cards. Check them out online at riverrockbricknj.com. That's riverrockbricknj.com. And like them on Facebook for the most up-to-date entertainment and events. River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick.
iPlay America presents their fall lineup of spectacular dinner shows. Enjoy monthly live musical performances that include a delicious dinner buffet. On Sunday, October 7th, see New York State of Mind, a classic tribute to Billy Joel. Hear your favorites like Uptown Girl, Piano Man, and so much more. Tickets start at just $55 and include the show and dinner buffet. Tickets and full dinner show lineup at iPlayAmerica.com/dinnershows.
All paws on board. Don't miss Jenkinson's Boardwalks Be a Lifesaver dog and puppy adoption event on Saturday, September 29th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on the beach near the aquarium. You can't buy love, but you can rescue it. Head to Jenkinson's to open your heart and your home at this huge adoption event. Sponsored in part by Camp Bow Wow of Eatontown, where a dog can be a dog, and Squoncum Animal Inn in Howell, treating your pet like family. For details, call 732-892-0600 or go to jenkinsons.com.
Now back to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner, powered by Gateway Toyota, Route 37 East in Toms River. Get it all at Gateway.
Classic rock for the Jersey Shore. 105.7 The Hawk and 105.7thehawk.com.
Took it right. Back here at River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar and Brick, talking Point Pleasant Borough Panthers football. Kevin Williams, Bob Adders, Ed Sarluca. Kevin will sit this one out. Me and the coach will take it. We talked to head coach Brian Staub a couple minutes ago. Now we're joined by a pair of the Panthers' outstanding seniors, quarterback Garrett Romer and lineman Scott Francisini. So first of all, gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
A lot of turnover as far as the roster coming into the season, as we talked to Coach Staub about. But you guys are right here, 2-1. And I remember just from talking to you guys in the beginning of the season, you knew what you had, even though the rest of us didn't. So I imagine this is not a surprise, Garrett, to be out here 2-1 and playing as well as you guys are.
Not at all. Like you said, we knew what we had, and we just have to show up every week and come to play, and that's what we've been doing.
Garrett, I talked to Coach Staub over the winter when he got the job, and the first question I asked, like he said most people did, is who's your quarterback going to be? He blurted your name out right away. Tell us about when he told you and your reaction.
I think we kind of knew at the end of last season that I was going to take over that role. That was the plan since last season, I guess.
Tell me about James Farah and what you learned from him.
James Farah is absolute outstanding athlete. Just being under him taught me a lot how to run the offense and everything, and that's pretty much it.
You still got to have that feel, though, right?
That feel of
who to hand off, when to hand off, when to keep it, when to pitch, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it a true triple read?
Yep. It comes with reps and time and practice.
Now, Garrett, how excited were you, too? I mean, you wait your time, and you were a starter last year at linebacker, so it's not like you're new on the field, and a very good one at that. Third-team all-shore selection for us, but, quarterback is, it's the position, especially in this offense. So I imagine you were pretty eager to get out here senior year and kind of be that guy under center running things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to get out with my team. We have a heavy senior class. They're all my buddies, and just excited to play that position and play some football.
Scott, young offensive line. You the leader up there?
Yeah, I like to kind of take control of that after playing last year, teaching all the people, the little things that go into each game of what to pay attention to, adjustments. I really think that's my role. I try to be a leader up there.
Who's the animal up front?
Probably Dan Beecha. That kid is a monster.
Scott, with the offensive line, you're the only returning starter back. So even though there's guys that you expect to come in and play well, there's still new starters. That first game against Manasquan, even though it was a loss, offensively, you guys played really well. Put up 28 points against a defense, that was coming in, figured to be one of the best in the shore. How much of a confidence builder was that, to just see the way you guys were able to consistently move the ball and do what you wanted to offensively?
I think that was huge because in the summer you never really know what you had until you play that first game. So it was really great to drop that many points on such a good defense, because you just open up the holes and you see kids like Garrett run wild, and then it's just a big confidence builder.
Garrett, you're playing a lot of new teams this year that you'd never played before. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited for the challenge. It's going to be a battle week in and week out, like Coach Dobb was saying earlier.
Garrett, again, you played linebacker last season. Had over 100 tackles, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Now you're playing quarterback and you're playing linebacker. What's that transition been like, just in terms of, last year you knew where you were. You're on the field. You're in the middle of defense. You had those responsibilities. And obviously now that's twofold. Has that been hard, to do that both ways?
Yeah, I'm pretty winded in the second half for sure. But it's a lot of fun. I'm just excited to be out there. I'm going to soak up every moment of my senior year and just play as hard as I can.
Scott, let's make believe Coach Staub left the room, even though he's back there hiding in the corner, okay? Who's the coach that when you come to the sideline after a fumble or so, you don't want to see? Is he the guy?
Coach Staub?
Yeah. He's the guy, right?
He just eats, breathes, and sleeps football. Like you guys were saying, he's 27 years old. That's pretty much all he does.
Does he drive yet, by the way?
He does.
Yeah,
he does drive.
okay.
He does drive.
I was, lucky enough early in my career to cover pretty much all your coaches, except for Coach Johnson, obviously. But Coach Staub, Coach O'Connor, Coach Canary. For you, Scott, Canary, I remember when he was, a high school player, and he was just an animal. And he seems to bring that same kind of intensity. Just what's it like having him coach the O-line? First of all, he knows a lot, and he's a great teacher of it. But, he's a pretty fiery guy as well, huh?
Yeah, he can get pretty fired up on the sidelines. He has great one-liners. But, I think I try to translate some of that to the offensive line. If we have a big play, I try to get everyone a little fired up. I think we play better like that.
Now, were you guys around when the field was grass?
Yeah.
First year, right?
Yeah.
So your facilities are tremendous. The field was laid out, and painted, the best around just about. How do you feel about that, having that new field, and walking out on that field? Start with you, Garrett.
We love the turf. We had we had the grass field our freshman and sophomore year.
2 years, right?
Yep, and we just love playing on the turf. It's great.
Yeah, it's really comfortable as a lineman to be able to not be stomping on a bunch of little bumps in the grass. So it's really comfortable to play on that, especially on defense with all how you react to things. It's nice to be confident.
Scott, how about the kids? In the school. Tell us about the. Are the kids excited?
Oh yeah, my friends talk to me all throughout the week about how the games are going. I'm in the band too, so I get to talk to all those kids. They're excited. I like pointing up to them in the stands. It's a great little community that surrounds the football team. I think we bring a great energy to the school.
Now, you're not one of these guys that doesn't go in the locker room at halftime and you play in the band, are you?
No,
that's good. But no, seriously, what's the fan section called? Because I know there's about 300 or 400 of them every time I go to that field.
It's called the Pit.
The Pit.
They get real loud, so it's really nice having them going to the sideline.
Yes, they do.
Scott, what about the dead end? What's that all about?
That's me, my twin brother Paul, and Bobby Cooper. It's the dead end. There's nowhere to go.
It's the right side of the defense, to be more exact.
I love that. That's a good one. Speaking of that defense, real quick, we'll stick on that. You guys have been one of the better defensive teams in the Shore Conference for several years. And again, you started the season allowing a lot more points probably than you wanted to, but the last 2 games you guys have gotten back to playing the kind of defense you're used to doing. Just how about that side of the ball? So much attention gets paid to the offense, especially with the collection of skilled players you guys have, but that side of the ball is obviously crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this week we're going to have our personnel completely figured out. So I think we're just going to keep getting better defensively from here on out.
Yeah, I think having that solid personnel each week, we're trying to figure out who goes where. Defense is a big gap type game. You can get washed all over the place, and it can get messy sometimes. But, each week I can feel it. We get better. We get more confident each time we step on the field that we think, we're going to stop you, and then we're going to score.
Senior year, guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Only a few more times going to step on the field at Al Sainer Field. What about future plans? College. Tell us about those plans. Garrett?
That's a tough question. It's early. I still got time.
But do you have aspirations of playing in college?
Yeah, I do. But I'm gonna play out this senior year, and I'm gonna see where it takes me from there.
Any other sports?
I play baseball too. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple colleges. I would hope to play football in college. I think it would really be a great thing, that kind of helps organize your life. It's great being a senior. It's your last year of high school football. It's pretty special, playing with the guys you've been playing with for about a decade. There's really nothing like it. You can't put it into words how amazing it is.
Some questions we like to ask everyone on here, lighten the mood a little bit. Who's the funny guy on the team? The guy that is the jokester and kind of letting you guys laugh.
I guarantee you, it's not Gary. Scott.
My buddy Michael Mayfield he says some pretty ridiculous things sometimes. I think it's really good to lighten the mood sometimes when maybe you guys are having a rough game.
Yeah, I remember. Sorry to interrupt you, but I remember last week versus Monmouth, we were walking in to the stands at halftimes, and Michael smells some funnel cake, and he goes, "Wow, I could really go for some funnel cake right now." Meanwhile, it's 7-0. We're battling.
You're battling, yeah.
Of course, he's thinking about funnel cake, big lineman. It's great. I mean, I gave him a hard time about it, but it was funny. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Pasta parties, right? Thursdays.
Yep.
Usually, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who's the guy you don't want to get behind?
Probably Michael.
Mike again?
Oh, man.
We got to meet this guy, Mike.
Yeah, he's right back there.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
There he is. Okay.
Who's the serious guy on the team? I mean, is that you gonna say you or not?
No, I'm a happy guy.
Who is that guy though? Maybe you can't always joke around him. His game face is on almost 24/7.
That's a tough one. What do you think, Scott?
Oh wow, you're putting it on me now.
Does Garrett have control of the huddle?
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to make Garrett mad. He'll make everyone. He'll straighten everyone out. We all look to him. He's the leader.
That's good. That's important.
Sounds like he's learned a lot from Coach Staub.
Yes.
Well, guys, thank you very much again for coming on to us. Coming on with us today. Again, a fantastic season last year. I know you guys have those same exact goals, and it looks like you're working your way towards there. We're still early in the season, but as Kevin said before, it starts getting late pretty early. So, best of luck to you guys going on the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's Garrett Romer and Scott Francisisi from Point Borough. And we thank them again for coming on. We'll transition next to the Crimson Knights of Wall, and we'll talk to head coach Tony Grandinetti after this. You're listening to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner on 105.7 The Hawk.
The fun never stops at River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick. The Beach Bar is still open and still bringing you live entertainment Wednesday through Sunday. Plus, catch your favorite football games from the Beach Bar, too. And don't forget Miller Monday from 8 to 10:30 p.m. Take your chance in the money machine to win great prizes and gift cards. Check them out online at riverrockbricknj.com. That's riverrockbricknj.com. And like them on Facebook for the most up-to-date entertainment and events. River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS. Corolla 5189 and RAV4 4988 due at signing. $0 security deposit. Excludes tax. Tag title 439 doc fee. 10K miles per year. Ends 9/30/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
It's tailgate time right now at Gateway Toyota. Drive new 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive. Your choice. Only $139 a month. $139 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Tom'sRiverGatewayToyota.com.
The kids are back at school, everyone's busy, and dinner's left to the last minute. Don't worry, head to the Office Restaurant and Lounge, where you'll find a menu with choices that'll make everyone happy. From burgers to pasta, steak to sushi, and salads to sandwiches, the biggest problem will be choosing what to order. And they offer a kids menu. Also, check out The West, the new casual dining room with high-top tables and chairs and 13 TVs to watch your favorite games. Tom's River's place to meet and eat for 42 years is the Office Restaurant and Lounge at the intersection of Route 37 and Main Street.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the best. Hackensack Meridian Health has 4 hospitals ranked in New Jersey's top 10 by U.S. News and World Report, more than any other network. And we're in the top 10% nationally in 9 specialties. From Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers to Riverview and Raritan Bay Medical Centers. Expect quality care and compassion. Learn more at hackensackmeridianhealth.org/US News.
You're listening to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner. Classic rock for the Jersey Shore. 105.7 The Hawk and 105.7thehawk.com.
And we are live at River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick. Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner on the air till 8 o'clock tonight. Kevin Williams, Ed Sarluk, and Bob Batters. Of course, next Wednesday we flip-flop and we head to the Office Restaurant and Lounge in Toms River. We just finished up talking Point Borough Panther football. We now bring on the head coach of the Wall Crimsonites. Unlike Staub, he's a seasoned vet in his second year. Tony Grandinetti and his team off to a 2-1 start. Wins over Lakewood and Lacey, with sandwiched in between a loss to Jackson, an overtime loss to Jackson. And Coach, since you're old school, we can get right into it. Get right into it. I do want to ask you, we, of course, broadcast your game with Jackson a couple of weeks ago. It was really old-time football. I mean, it was 12-6 in overtime. It wasn't pretty. There were very few big plays. It was pretty much grinded out. A lot of that dictated by the field conditions that night on what was a cow pasture at, as they said, not Munley Field, but Muddy Field. And I know both teams played on it, but I would imagine you would have preferred to play on maybe turf that night.
It was tough playing conditions, but like you said, both teams played on it. We never make excuses. What it came down to was a great defensive battle. It really was. It was that old school smash mouth kind of football. Unfortunately, just fell a little short. Didn't make a couple big plays, and that's how it ended. But it was a good game, both sides. Jackson and us. But it was that old school, very physical game too.
You had to be happy, though. You bounce back after that, and that's a tough loss to come back and you go play a Lacey team that had been undefeated, and you handle them 28-7. That says a lot about your team.
Well, and that's exactly what I said to the guys after that win. Is it showed the true character of our team. To bounce back, it can go, and you guys know, you've been around this a long time, that it can go either way. It could really, the wheels can come off, or we can come together, regroup, and refocus, and that's exactly what we did. Last week was the best week of practice we had all year, and that's not me, that's not the coaching, that's the players, that's the leadership that we have on our team, really taking over.
The old adage is it all starts up front, and as an offensive line coach, I know you will agree with that every single time. Coming into the season with a veteran group up front, when you're replacing some skill players and some good ones at quarterback and running back, that had to be a great foundation to have coming to the season. I know you felt good about the skill guys you were putting in, but when you could start those 5 guys up front and be comfortable there, that's a great point.
Yeah, absolutely. I am the offensive line coach, me and Brian Duffy, so we work together, but at the same time, everything starts up front, offensively and defensively, and we knew we had 3 returning starters, and we had 2 guys stepping into new roles, but we were very confident in them with the experience that they gained last year in practice and watching film. So it does. Everything starts up front. And also with the tight end position, we had Tanner Powers coming back, who was a starter last year for us. So we felt very confident with the new guys coming in the skill positions. We knew up front we should be able to own the line of scrimmage.
Is it easier starting with that as opposed to starting with a bunch of skill players? Maybe you have your quarterback, running back, and all your receivers back, but you have one or no guys up front. I mean, if you could prefer to start with in one scenario, would it be with the guys up front back?
Definitely, hands down. And if you look at Wall the past 2 seasons, 2 years ago, we had Eddie Scott, we had Brady McNally, we had Chavez Coven, we had all these guys coming back, but we were new up front. Mm-hmm. We had all 5 new starters. This year coming in, like I said, we had 3 returning starters. We had 2 guys stepping into new roles, but we knew they were ready. I would much prefer an experienced offensive line.
Tony, I saw your brick scrimmage early in the season. I thought you had the better of that scrimmage against Brick, or at least held your own against what was preseason one of the top teams in the Shore, with a senior-dominated team. I would imagine that gave you, some good feelings after that scrimmage, the way you played.
Definitely, yeah. We knew where their ranking was, what they were ranked going into that scrimmage, and that was a quad scrimmage. There was us and three other teams there, but we knew Brick. from scrimmaging them the year before, so we knew the players that they had coming back, and we felt we could compete with them. And in the locker room, before we went out, I said, guys, this is the time to prove ourselves. And even though it's a scrimmage, coaches are on the field, it was still a moment in time where we wanted to prove that, hey, we can hang with anyone in the Shore Conference.
Tony, there's a guy in the room here tonight that I think he's in his 79th year of coaching, I think. I'm not. Wow. It's either 78 or 79.
I think it's only 78.
And
yeah.
that's Bobby Grace.
Yes.
Tell me what a guy like that means to your staff.
I'm going to correct the years. It actually is his 50th year involved.
Wow.
Is it really?
Tremendous.
It is.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I can't, we only have a small amount of time, but I can't tell you how much Bob means to this football program and how much he helps me. He is tremendous. He is there with me every single day. He is with the boys every single day. And I'm not just saying in the season. We have a pretty intense off season in the weight room. Bob is there every single day. The kids respect him. The kids love him there. I can't speak enough of how much he does for this football program.
Bob, congratulations on the 50 years, man. That's some milestone. And you've been telling me you're only 58 years old. You're a liar.
The other guy I want to talk about is Brian Duffy.
Yes.
A new addition to your staff.
Yes.
Of course, he went to Brick Memorial and he played at Rutgers, where he was a star at Rutgers. Had to add a lot to the offensive line.
Absolutely. And in the previous 2 years, I've been the offensive line coach.
Right.
But taking over last year as the head coach, being the offensive line coach, being the offensive coordinator, that's a lot of hats. That's a lot of hats to wear. So when I had the opportunity to bring Brian in, I jumped at that, and he has been a tremendous help, obviously for our offensive line, and all the experience that he has coaching and playing and bringing that to the table. But it also allows me now to bounce around where I need to be watching the offense.
I'm wondering when last season ended, which was your first full season as the head coach, and you might have mentioned that was one of them, but what you said was after that year, okay, here's what I want to do different. Here's what I learned this year that I don't want to repeat next year, I want to improve on. What were those things?
And to be honest with you, last year, 2017, was my first year as the head coach, but this year is the first year where I have, from the last game of the season, all off season, all preseason, and now obviously in the regular season, this is my first full year. I have made some changes, but I'm really instilling that culture. We're based off of integrity, of a hard work and competition, and that's how it is year round at Wall.
Yeah, you put your stamp on the program.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, and that's my stamp that I'm putting on it. But I have to say, it's the coaching staff, it's the players. Every single person has bought in.
Through 3 games, your offense is averaging, right under 30 points a game, which is always a good spot to be in. And it's been a collection of guys. It hasn't been 1 or even 2 guys having huge games. I mean, it's been your quarterback, Dylan Ritchie, Matt Desarn at running back. I know Casey Larkin's had some big games. Teddy Sharkey's done a lot, really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Just how about that? Is that what you expected coming in, that it was going to be that collective effort where you can kind of spread the ball around and it could be a different guy on any given day?
Definitely. And we go into every week. We don't have one guy and we don't say, this is the guy this week. We know we have 5 to 6 guys on offense that anytime they touch the ball, they can take it to the house. And we knew that going in. And it's very exciting. Game planning every week, it is exciting, and getting the ball to different guys, and it's fun to watch. But again, going back to what we talked about before, it all starts up front. When we do our job up front, get the ball to the skilled players, let them do their thing.
You've got a brother in Casey Larkin, at running back, only a sophomore. Tell us a little bit about how the two differ.
They're similar and different at the same time, Sean and Casey.
Sure.
Sean, I was only here for Sean's senior year,
right?
Which we in 2016 we know how that season ended. Sean was a huge part of that. Sean was a fiery competitor. Casey is the exact same. Sometimes we have to calm Casey down at practice.
So even as a sophomore, he's taken that attitude.
Absolutely. And if you remember last year in the postseason in our first state playoff game, we brought Casey up, and we went back for kick return, and I said, this ball is going to go to Casey. Watch. And the opening kickoff in the first round of the playoffs, who's the ball go to? It's Casey. And he gets about a 30-yard gain. Manasquan, our Thanksgiving Day game, he almost breaks one for a touchdown.
I was there.
He's a special player. And a lot of similar traits, though, the work ethic that Sean had. Casey definitely carries that. And again, it's not just Casey, it's everybody on this team.
I would imagine Casey's picking up a lot from Matt DeSarno, who is your starter in there.
Yes, and it's very, again, for me to watch this and Bob Grace, we were in the weight room every single day. And I put the guys through very tough workouts, very demanding, very challenging workouts. And, once they're done, most guys are dripping sweat and they leave. Except a few guys, and those few guys are actually in this room right now. And, I think at one point, Casey wasn't leaving until Matt left, and Matt wasn't leaving until Casey left, until, at one point I had to say, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. Let's go home.
Right, so I know you're going to give me the coach speak. It's one game at a time, so the only thing that matters this week is Marlboro on Saturday.
Yes.
Might somebody be keeping an eye on the Jackson-Lacey game? Because for you to have really a realistic hope of grabbing a share of the Constitution, you would need Lacey to beat Jackson Memorial.
That's true. At the same time, going into the season, it is one of our goals to win the division. Unfortunately, with losing to Jackson, it's, a lot of stuff has to happen. So my message is that coach message is it's out of our hands right now.
Yeah.
All we can worry about is Wall. We can control what we can control. And just handle the business on Saturday.
Well, we always love talking to you during the season, and we enjoyed doing the game a couple of weeks ago. You're a class guy, real happy for you and continued success. We're going to get a chance to talk to your Crimsonites. We're looking forward to that. But, Tony, thank you very much and continued best wishes.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Tony Grandinetti, the head football coach at Wall. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk with Dylan and Matt right after this. You're listening to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner on 105.7 The Hawk.
You're a football fan, and sometimes you want to watch the games with your friends and other fans. The Office Restaurant and Lounge loves football and invites you to watch all the games in their 28 HD TVs and take advantage of their awesome $6 football menu. On Thursday and Sunday, buy a 22-ounce mug for $4 and get refills of Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $2. Enjoy football with your friends at Tom's River's Place to meet and eat for 42 years. The Office Restaurant and Lounge at the intersection of Route 37 and Main Street.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS. Corolla 5189 and RAV4 4988 due at signing. $0 security deposit. Excludes tax. Tag title 439 doc fee. 10K miles per year. Ends 9/30/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
It's tailgate time right now at Gateway Toyota. Drive new 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive. Your choice. Only $139 a month. $139 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Tom's River GatewayToyota.com.
iPlay America presents their fall lineup of spectacular dinner shows. Enjoy monthly live musical performances that include a delicious dinner buffet. On Sunday, October 7th, see New York State of Mind, a classic tribute to Billy Joel. Hear your favorites like Uptown Girl, Piano Man, and so much more. Tickets start at just $55 and include the show and dinner buffet. Tickets and full dinner show lineup at iPlayAmerica.com/dinner shows.
The fun never stops at River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick. The Beach Bar is still open and still bringing you live entertainment Wednesday through Sunday. Plus, catch your favorite football games from the Beach Bar, too. And don't forget Miller Monday from 8 to 10:30 p.m. Take your chance in the Money Machine to win great prizes and gift cards. Check them out online at riverrockbricknj.com. That's riverrockbricknj.com. And like them on Facebook for the most up-to-date entertainment and events. River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick.
All paws on board. Don't miss Jenkinson's Boardwalks Be a Lifesaver dog and puppy adoption event on Saturday, September 29th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on the beach near the aquarium. You can't buy love, but you can rescue it. Head to Jenkinson's to open your heart and your home at this huge adoption event. Sponsored in part by Camp Bow Wow of Eatontown, where a dog can be a dog, and Squoncum Animal Inn in Howell, treating your pet like family. For details, call 732-892-0600 or go to jenkinsons.com.
Now back to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner, powered by Gateway Toyota, Route 37 East in Toms River. Get it all at Gateway.
Classic rock for the Jersey Shore. 105.7 The Hawk and 105.7thehawk.com.
We are in the fourth quarter of this week's Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner, broadcast live from River Rock Restaurant and Marina Bar in Brick. We're going to now chat with Wall Crimson Knights' Dylan Ritchie and Matt DeSarno. If you are watching the video on ShoreSportsNetwork.com, you'll see these guys called each other about what they were wearing tonight. White shirts, red ties, khaki pants. They look tremendous. Guys, welcome aboard. Thanks for being a little patient. And Matt, since you're next to me, you get the pleasure of going first. Big win last week. After that loss to Jackson, which we talked about, you had to be really disappointed in an overtime loss. Coach said you had a great week of practice, and it really showed in the performance against Lacey.
Yeah, after that loss, the coach definitely talked about us and told us we need to pick our heads up, get ready for the game next week. And the biggest thing he said is we needed to have a big week of practice, and we just tried to get everyone on board with that, and we did have a great week, and that's why we came out on top.
Yeah, it must have felt good after the week before. How bad was the field conditions against Jackson? Coach is going to give you that we both played on it, but it had to be tough for you guys.
Well, just like Coach said, we can't make excuses. We both had to play on it, but there were times I wish it was a little more dry on the field.
When you come back the next week, I'll ask you, Dylan, after a loss like that, obviously you want to come back and the foremost goal is to just win, but were there things that you saw and say, hey, we need to get better at this going forward, or was that Jackson game just one of those close games where someone had to win?
Definitely. There's things we needed to work on collectively as an offense. I know some of the reads I didn't make correctly, so we watched film that morning, and we knew we had to get better that week. So every day we came out, and it was just fun battling these scout team guys. And it was just a great week of practice, and it showed on Friday night.
You guys would have been sophomores, right, when the state championship team a couple years ago?
I was a sophomore, yeah.
You were a sophomore?
I was a freshman.
You were a freshman. Yeah. Knowing what it's like, I mean, that's the ultimate, right, to go to a state final and win it. I mean, we did that game on the radio. I remember the crowd, everyone in red and white who made the trip. That's got to be the goal, right, to try and do that again.
Yeah, that is the goal. This year, playing 12 games is our goal. It's been the goal since the start, so that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, you want to play after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You want to keep going.
And same thing, Dylan. I mean, your brother was on that team, if I'm not correct, right? So, just how about that? You know, especially yourself being a sophomore and kind of being, in there a little more than probably Matt was as a freshman, and kind of seeing what it took to get to that ultimate level.
Yeah, definitely. I got some playing time at corner that year when some guys when Larkin would cramp and stuff like that. So it was funny. But just learning from them, the way they practiced, the way they handled themselves, just through everything. I learned a lot, and I'm trying to pass that down to the younger guys.
You both play both ways, right? Offense and defense. Dylan, quarterback and defensive back. Matt, running back and free safety, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah, free and strong.
Okay, free and strong. You prefer one side of the ball to the other?
I mean, running the ball is pretty fun. I do. But also, playing defense, I like going out there and just being able to help the team win the game by stopping them from scoring.
And bottom line is, don't you like to hit people?
Yeah.
Now, you, quarterback, quarterbacks don't like to get hit, but you run the ball a lot, so you're accustomed to getting hit. So do you like to get payback on the other side?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love going on defense, seeing guys who hit me so I can just get a little payback. But it's a fun time. I love running around, hitting people, flying. It's a great time. I love defense.
We talked to Coach Grandinetti about the experience you guys have up front on the offensive line, and also, add Tanner Powers in there, as a really good, blocking end, pass catching tight end. For you guys coming in as first-year starters on the offensive side of the ball, especially for you, Dylan, how big was that, knowing that you have that unit up front where you can really trust?
Oh, yeah, it was huge. The three guys coming back are some big guys, and they open a lot of holes, so it's easy to run through big holes sometimes, but Yeah, they do a great job. They work every day, and it's just fun running behind those guys.
You know, you heard when we had the guys from Point Borough on, we like to get a little sense of the team personality. So, so who's the funny guy? Who's that guy that, you know, you say to each other, man, the guy cracks me up?
I would say the funny guy on our team would be Ian Ackerman. Unfortunately, he did break his elbow in the first game against Lakewood, but
that wasn't the funny part, was it?
No, it was not funny.
Okay.
There's a funny bone joke in there, but I don't.
Yeah.
But even at practice, it's just good having him around. He can crack a joke once in a while and just get us laughing on the sideline sometimes.
All right, Dylan. Then there's that guy who's like, he's serious. Like, you know, sometimes you feel like you can't even goof with him.
Yeah, I gotta say Tanner Powers on that part. There's some times where if something wrong happens at practice, he's the guy yelling all mad, yelling at guys. In game time, he gets in the zone too. Sometimes you gotta calm him down, but yeah, definitely he's a serious guy.
Now listen, you're the quarterback, so automatically a quarterback has to become a leader. So how has your role changed from last year to this year?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I learned from the captains last year how to lead and stuff, and I've just been trying to get the guys having fun at practice. You know, football is supposed to be fun. I mean, school drags on and stuff, but when you come out to a football field, it's fun. So I'm just trying to get everyone hyped up for practice and stuff. So it's been fun.
That team dynamic is so important. That's something, again, people on the outside like us, we don't see. You know, talking about the serious guy and the funny guy and all those things along. You know, how is your team dynamic, just as far as, you know, how close you guys may be from playing together for a long time or whatever?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of close guys there, but we built a bond over the summer. Definitely going through some of this stuff. We were running bleachers, and you look to the guy next to you, and you just build a bond with them. And we all crack jokes with each other in the locker room too. So we're all close, and it's a great time.
You know, you guys, like when we had the guys from Point Borough on, you play for a school that's got a great tradition. I mean, Wall's 18 playoff appearances, 4 sectional titles. So the idea is you have to keep continuing that tradition. You know, the guys who wear the red, you know, and you have the red ties on, like, your job is to keep that going. When you step out on the field and you realize the season is, game-wise, it's relatively short. I always tell people the difference between football is you play basketball and you lose. You might be playing 2 nights later and you get a chance. You play football, you got to go through a whole week, and that week can be tough. So tell me a little bit about being a Wall Crimsonite and what it means to you personally.
Especially after a loss, and like you said, you have to wait a full week to play. That loss really sticks with you through practice that whole week. And when Coach G came in 2 years ago, he put in that message and he followed like we were in the past. Just work hard after a loss. Don't let it stick with you, and just look for the next game.
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I always remember going to games, especially the Thanksgiving one, just watching like the older guys like Steve Cluley and all them, just waiting for your chance to go play. But it's been really fun just wearing the red, playing for them.
And now you're the guy, and there's probably a 7th or 8th grader at a game on a Saturday or Friday night and says, man, I want to be him one day.
Yeah.
Kind of hard, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Try to live up to his expectations.
You know, you talked about the Thanksgiving Day games, and we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves, but you guys play in one of the the few Thanksgiving Day games really left, but really one of the most important ones. Such a great tradition, Wall and Manasquan, such a great rivalry. Thanksgiving is when it's played. If, in the future, will it be that way? I know you guys probably hope it still is, but just the fact when Wall and Manasquan play, no matter where it's at, no matter when it is, I mean, people show up and people really care about that game. That has to be a fun atmosphere and a fun event to be part of.
Oh, definitely. I look forward to that every year. The funny thing is my dad went to Squan, and he still works there and the maintenance and stuff. So it's kind of funny playing against his alma mater. But we see the kids all the time at the beach in town. So it's when you get out there, it's time to go. There's lots of people there, and it's probably one of the funner games of the year.
But, of course, like Coach G said, you're not thinking about that. You're going to tell me the only thing that counts is Marlboro this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Feel good about your chances this weekend, coming off the big win the way you played last week? Good week of practice?
Yeah, very good week of practice. We've had 2 great days so far. and we're just really looking to have we have an extra day of practice this week since this Saturday game. We're just looking to go out there tomorrow, practice like we did the past 2 days, and try to go out there and get a win.
We always ask about college plans for the seniors, so we'll certainly ask you, Dylan. Would you like to play football in college, and is that something that you've been kind of going through a process with?
Yeah, I've been going through a process a little bit. My brother plays at TCNJ now, so that's obviously in the lead for football. I know the whole coaching staff, but I'm just trying to have fun the rest of the year, try to win the state championship, and then figure it out after the season.
Play any other sports?
Baseball.
Okay. Now, you got another year, right? You're only a junior, so you're not worried about that stuff right now.
Yeah, not right now.
Play any other sports?
I play basketball.
Okay. All right. Guys, I tell you, I love the ties, man. I'm just telling you. You're killing it. You are styling. We really appreciate you coming down, seriously, on a Wednesday night. Had a lot of fun chatting with you. Wish you all the best. Obviously, you got great support from your families here tonight and the fan base, so that's awesome. And continue the Wall Crimson Night tradition. Hope you guys stay healthy and have a great year.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Dylan Ritchie and Matt DeSarno from Wall High School representing the Crimson Knights. And, of course, as we said, 2-1 coming off the big win. They have Marlboro, Southern, Long Branch, Neptune, and then Manasquan on Thanksgiving Day, hopefully sandwiched in before that, some NJSIAA playoff games. We're about ready to wrap it up. Of course, Ed Sarluka on the sidelines right now, but thanking Ed, of course. The group here, Tom Tremblay, Greg Lerner, Brad Burascani, Katie O'Keefe back at the studios. My man Bob Batters. Everyone have a great football weekend. You've been listening to the Gateway Toyota Coaches Corner on 105.7 The Hawk. Good night, everyone.